Another in the group asked, all the schools of swordsmanship speak of the remaining mind. I wonder, what does this term mean? The demon replied, this refers only to the point where the essence of the mind is not affected by one's technique and does not move. When the essence of the mind does not move, action and response are clear. Everyday human affairs are just like this. Even if I were to leap up and plunge right to the bottom of hell, I would still be the same fundamental I. Thus, I am unobstructed and free both in front and behind, and to the left and right. This is not a matter of inserting the mind and keeping it there. When the mind remains, it is divided into two. Moreover, when the essence of the mind is not clear and the mind is consciously inserted, there will only be blind striking and blind thrusting. Clarity is born from the unmoving essence of the mind, and then there is simply striking with clarity and thrusting with clarity. This is difficult to discuss. If you understand it poorly, it will result in great harm. The demon continued. In all the schools of swordsmanship, there is something called initiative. This is also used for the sake of the beginner to express how to aid his ardor and how to spur him on against indolence. In fact, when the essence of the mind does not move and you do not lose yourself, and when expansive chi fills the body, you will always have initiative. This is not a matter of striking a person first or of using the mind. Fundamentally, it is considered essential in swordsmanship to nourish your basic vitality and to avoid a spirit of death. To attack in the midst of waiting or to wait in the midst of attacking are both spontaneous action and response. Initiative is really just a provisional name used for the sake of beginners, but at its heart it means moving while not moving and being at rest while not being at rest. If a beginner cannot speak about the application of techniques based on hard and soft chi, he will have nothing to rely on. Thus, you give names to such things and teach in that way. When you give something a name, however, you may become attached to that name and misunderstand the fundamental principle. But if you don't give things names and leave them blank, the student may not comprehend the full meaning. At any rate, there is no way you can talk about it with a person who has not grasped an understanding of the general meaning. And all techniques are like this. So if the person who would teach something does not have a suitable student, it would be better for him to keep quiet and not talk at all without circumspection. If a student has grasped the gist of the subject, he will quickly understand from what he has seen and heard. The demon went on. As I explained before, activity or rest throughout the body is entirely a function of chi. Thus, the mind is the soul of chi, and chi is simply yin and yang, pure or muddy. When chi is pure, there is activity and lightness of function. When it is muddy, there is stagnation and heaviness of function. Form follows chi, and for this reason in swordsmanship it is considered essential to train your chi. When chi is active, practical application is light and swift. When it is muddy, practical application is heavy and slow. Although a vigorous chi is respected, when your vigor is used with partiality and harmony is neglected, it becomes fragmented and its function cannot be put into practice. A person who relies on such will leave nothing behind but empty actions without use. And though, when it comes to function, we respect harmony, when vigor is not the master within it, it flows away and results in weakness. Now, the weak and the soft are different altogether. The soft contains living chi and performs function. The weak is simply not strong and is unable to perform function. Being at rest and being inert are also completely different. Being at rest does not distance itself from living chi, but being inert is slightly removed from it. A person who is tense relies on chi but has difficulty in loosening it. Relying on thoughts or concepts, you will become taut. The chi of yin becomes taut on its own, and the person who relies altogether on chi will not be swift in responding to some action. Thus, a tense or taut chi will be slow in its function of technique, but the person whose chi goes first will dry up his technique's practical application. This is yang and lacks foundation. It will be light and parched and will be like withered leaves scattered by the wind. The person who is too damp and stagnant will be dragged down by a muddy chi that is heavy of itself and will be slow in practical application. The person who is too concentrated will focus on chi with partiality and will render his form shackled and rigid. He will come to a standstill and will be unable to move. Thus his action and response will be all the slower, like a stream that is frozen and is unable to melt. This, again, is the congealing of thought and the congealing of chi. What we call thought is also chi. The known is called thought. The unknown is called chi. You should test this out and know it on your own.